Welcome back on the VST channel. This here is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra entering the latest One UI 6 Beta 9, which is almost 99% the final build because we see things like the Good Guardians and many other Samsung stock apps being updated to support One UI 6. But this here is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. You've seen all the tests, these both phones running 1000 apps in parallel. You've seen my test running PSP emulation. You've seen the other tests, Genshin Impact for hours and hours, and you still wonder like, okay, which phone is good for what? And in this test, guys, I want to try to focus on some real use case scenarios. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shoot 50 megapixel photos on the S23 Ultra and 48 megapixel photos on the iPhone 15 Pro Max for 10 seconds straight, and then just measure which one was able to take more photos for these 10 seconds. Now, before we started this, I need to show some settings because that's really important. On the S23 Ultra, I'm going to be using the maximum quality optimizations, and this is very important because this means that the photos will take a bit more time to process, but we're going to get the best quality. Why? Because first the scene optimizer is going to be turned on, and then of course the phone is going to strive for quality. Then also in the camera assistant, I'm going to be using these settings: the auto HDR set to on, and also picture softening set to medium. The adaptive pixel is also set to on. This reduces noise in low light by combining multiple lower resolution frames. In the final shot that's supposed to be high resolution, people think it's only for 200 megapixels, but I believe it works also on 50 megapixels. Now on the iPhone, I'm going to be using the Pro default. Here I'm going to be using the HEIF, which can go up to 48 megapixel, and the file size accordingly should be like 5 megabytes for a shot. And that's the tricky part, guys, because here on the Samsung we're going to get 50 megapixels and the pictures are gonna be JPEG, and HEIF compression is higher, right? So if that's still something, it is. And with that said, guys, I'm gonna be projecting here one of my videos. If you wanna watch the Find X6 Pro compared to the S23 Ultra and the Xiaomi 13 Ultra, what I'm gonna be doing, right? I am going to start a timer. The moment we hit 5 seconds, I'm gonna start pumping until I reach 15 seconds. So it's gonna be like 10 seconds. And also I'm going to be using only my right hand, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm just using the maximum that I can do with the phones. So the first that will go is the S23 Ultra. Very convenient here from the viewfinder. I just click here and I set to 50 megapixels, okay? 1x, so let the start begin. Remember, I'm going to start the clock the moment I reach here 5 seconds. I'm going to pump until I reach 15, so 10 seconds straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's start. All right. Okay, you see that I'm pumping like with the best effort that I can do. And all right, cool. Now I'm going to open the iPhone camera and I'm going to start the same test. So let me just reset the clock. So how do we know that we have here the 48 megapixel HEIF? Now start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11, 12, 13, 14, and okay, stop, that's it. So now let's check the test results, and before I do so, I want to share something, guys. That's the last picture. The photo taken on the S23 Ultra is indeed 15 megapixel, and you can just see it's 5.6, so almost like 6 megabytes. The one on the iPhone is 48 megapixel, right? And the resolution is a bit lower, so it's 3.8 megapixel. So on the iPhone we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 shots. Let's check how much we have on the S23 Ultra, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Equal score 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 shots. 25 shots done versus the 13 on the iPhone. So let's say that this drastic gap can be explained by the fact that the iPhone is using high efficiency. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go inside the camera and I'm gonna change it to most compatible. Then I'm gonna go again to Pro, and you can just see that now JPEG Max. So right now the iPhone should be able to shoot a JPEG picture. And now let's do the test using JPEG. So how do we know? We click here and we see JPEG Max. Same test, guys. I'm gonna start a clock, reach 5, start pumping until 15, and then do the same on the Ultra, and then count 4, and now let's pump. Okay, see, I'm doing my best here. Come on. It's really slow. Okay, So here we are done. Resetting the test, starting 50 megapixel. Let's now do the same on the Ultra. 3, 4, 5. A bit more and enough. Okay, good. And now the moment of truth, guys. So first things first, I want to show you still the same situation on the Galaxy, 50 megapixel, 4.6 megabytes, and also I changed the video background, guys. What do we have on the 15 Pro Max? We have 48 megapixel, guys, and it's JPEG, and the size is now 6.4. And now the real moment of truth, right? It's both JPEG, it's both 50 megapixel. Now let's count how much we have and who is the ultimate winner. So guys, that's the reality. 25 shots again on the Galaxy S23 Ultra, which is very consistent. And you know I'm a big fan of consistency. And sadly, again, only 13 shots on the iPhone 15 Pro Max using JPEG. So HEIF is not the factor. Now, you might wonder and think, why is this test important? Let me explain you guys. The moment you utilize your phone's camera, right, the first thing you do, of course, using resources. The moment you hit the shutter button, guys, what happens is camera operates, right? Light travels to the sensor, a picture is taken, right, through the sensor, so digitally written somewhere on the storage. And of course, then processing is applied because we have here a smart HDR, scene optimizer. So this tests the phone performance in terms of CPU processing power and also how the phone communicates with the storage. And eventually, the S23 Ultra is a clear winner here. So this here is a real test. Let me know if you want more like this. I have a lot of ideas. If that's your thing, sub for the channel, VST over, and bye.